from the NewsChannel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. We've got a dynamic show for you tonight. In our next segment, Brent will sit down with Jason Brazil, a victim of assault after a rideshare. And later in the show, we've got all the details on this year's annual Bianca Paige Day. Now, we open the show with our weekly Buzz About discussion. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Chuck and Brent. And I've got entertainment to talk about, which is kind of unusual for me.
It is. You're all entertainment.
Entertainment connected to controversy. That's what I like.
That's your tagline, though, isn't it?
It could be if I was a housewife or something.
Politics attached to controversy, entertainment attached to controversy.
So, do you all watch Supergirl?
I have not.
I have.
I'm sorry.
I've seen a little.
Of course you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I figured, yeah.
It's on the CW. Yeah. So, Nicole Maines joined Supergirl as TV's first transgender superhero. She's going to play Nia now, and I want to know what you all think. We got a picture. Beautiful.
She is just, yeah, she's gorgeous. I think she will fit perfectly in there.
Have you seen the episodes with her in it, or
I have
she
not,
hasn't come on
It
yet,
doesn't
right?
start till October.
Right. Okay, it doesn't start till October.
Yeah, she's just been cast, and I guess they're going to...
But when you look at the rest of the cast, I mean, it's a gorgeous cast, and she'll...
Well, she fits right in.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's nice to have that her, that community represented in such a way. I mean, that's as a superhero, no less.
I know, and it so this was announced recently, and it comes on the heels of Scarlett Johansson bowing out of a movie, and that movie is called Rub and Tub. And when it was announced that she was cast in it, there was a lot of chatter about it.
Yep.
So we know what she did. She decided, I've listened to you, I don't have the quote here, but I've decided this conversation's great, it's opened up a dialogue, but a trans person should play.
Well,
what do you think?
Well, I think that was her full statement. Was the gist of it, but it kind of came after there was a little bit of backlash.
Right,
so I think obviously she kind of paid attention to and listened and heeded what people were saying, which is nice. I mean, because we've had other people over the years play gay or play transgender that aren't, and they've not apologized for it. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. As an actor, not me personally, but as someone who's knows actors, it is part of their job and roles to assume the identities of other people. Now, should there be a fair shake? Probably. I mean, you're shaking your head. How do you feel the same way?
Yeah,
kind of torn?
I mean, I know for so long it was like trans didn't get even a shot at a trans role, and gay didn't even get a shot at a gay role. So that's why it's so hard. But I don't think that you should only cast trans and trans roles, gay and gay roles, because then you're only going to cast straight and straight roles.
Right.
So as a gay actor, if I wanted to play a straight role, then it limits what I can do. So, but I do feel like the sensitivity needs to be there to give them a big shot and not say, oh no, we need a big star or something.
But here's what I think. I don't know that. So is the movie going to be made for sure?
It's on hold now.
It's on hold, and if Scarlett Johansson played it, the story would be told, and that story, that message, would be heard by so many more people. And is that not maybe, I'm asking, I kind of feel this way, more important to get more people connected to a trans story than have a trans person play the trans character and not as many people see it?
Well, I think that goes kind of directly back into, why do you cast stars in movies to get people to see them that are fans of those people?
Yeah, we talk about that. Brokeback, whatever other movie.
Call Me By Your Name. Well, I'll say one thing though, because recently we saw Boys in the Band on Broadway, an all-gay cast. The first time all the leads were gay and they played gay. It was phenomenal, sold out. It's done box office, a bonanza on Broadway, and I think that's because all of those are getting their names. I mean, as far as Zachary Quinto and Andrew Reynolds and Jim Parsons. I mean, because they've been given opportunities. So now you have people who have some
enough
marquee,
people,
you've got marquee value.
And so maybe could I extrapolate off that and say, well, maybe then we need to give those trans actors opportunity to get to that marquee value, because if you don't give them the opportunity,
they're doing that on the show Pose right now.
Well, exactly, Pose, and then of course what's her face on Orange Is the New Black. So there's a few of them out there doing it. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said,
one of the articles I read said that trans characters were down in 2017 by 40%.
40%.
So I mean, I don't know. I feel mixed. I just worry that the story now
well, and it's
we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, of course. And talking about a show like Pose, you have a lot of actors like James Vanderbeek is on there, Kate Mara. So you know there are. It's not all trans, it's not all gay, it's not all straight. But,
right.
So that's the nice when you have the blend, because then you can get, if you've got to have the marquee value, you get a James Vanderbeek in there, or Evan Peters, those kind. But it's just, to me, the opportunity. I kind of think it would have been nice to have seen Scarlett Johansson take the role, and like you said, I think get the message out.
And then to be sort of backed up by the trans community in a way to say, like, thank you for representing us in a positive way, because I think what you said earlier really hits home. It's like, is it going to be a situation where then the return is, well, if you only can play gay, then I mean, it just seems so...
Right. There should have been a meeting before the announcement that she was cast. And then something done, profits going to somebody, and everybody would have been happy.
Yeah.
I'll make a phone call. We only have a minute and a half, and I want to talk about Kathy Griffin because she is making a comeback.
Oh, look, there she is.
We got a picture. Her new tour is Laugh Your Head Off World Tour. We know about a year and a few months ago, she launched. She put out a video holding a severed Trump head, and then she just tanked.
Right.
Yeah,
now she went abroad, did a bunch of shows, is back. She's not playing Nashville now. Are you happy to see this? Is it like the underdog coming back? Were you a fan before? Would you go to her show?
Well, that's a lot of questions.
Yeah,
you
just
go first,
talk a little bit about.
Yes, I'm a fan. I did think that the Trump thing may have crossed the line, but that's what comedians do. It's okay. They can cross a line.
Right.
So I think she crossed it. She had a lot of backlash, but as anybody knows, there's nothing really, bad publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
It afforded her a vacation and a resurgence.
Exactly.
Or a comeback,
now she gets to come back, and she is going to be hotter than ever.
And I have a theory, because I've seen her, and I think we talked on this show. I've always seen her shows here in Nashville. We have 30 seconds. And I thought she got a little soft against celebrities. And now I think
she became an A-list in a way.
Right.
Like she would talk about her best BFF Cher, and now I think we're going to get that old.
She has
been scorned again by the celebrity world.
Maybe now she'll come on the show.
Yeah, there we go.
Our show, Make the Ass Jug. All right, that's all the time we have. But don't go away. When we come back, we'll hear from Jason Brazil, victim of a terrible beating after a rideshare. You won't want to miss the story. Stay with us.
Thank you for making News Channel 5 #1 at 4 p.m. The political world is unpredictable.
You got the call from Mayor Berry that she was going to step down. Is that how you learned you were going to become mayor?
That is how it happened that day.
Inside Politics on News Channel 5 Plus helps you stay on top of it all. Host Pat Nolan's decades as a political analyst provides the insight and answers you're looking for.
Why is Washington so broken? Why can't we do something?
Watch Inside Politics with Pat Nolan, Friday night at 7 and at these encore times on News Channel 5 Plus.
Secrets inside Costco.
The secret codes on the Costco price tags, what they really mean. Why are the stores arranged like a maze? And how you can get the best deals there without a membership card. Next Inside Edition.
Monday at 4:30 on News Channel 5. Thank you for making News Channel 5 #1 at 6 p.m.
Welcome back. I'm Brent Meredith. It's fair to say that many, if not all of us, have heard of or used a rideshare app. While each of our experiences can vary widely, none of us should have to worry about being assaulted by the driver. Here with me tonight to share his personal story of rideshare abuse is Jason Brazil. Welcome, Jason. Thanks for being here. I know this is a lot to talk about. You're very welcome. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump in. Okay. So before we get to the awful incident, tell us a little bit about who you are and before all this began.
Okay. Yeah. Makeup artist here in Nashville. Transplant. Great city. Love it.
Where'd you transplant from?
Memphis.
Okay.
I was recruited to come here.
Well, cool. So now that we know who you are and where you're from, tell us a little bit about the night in question, sort of the events leading up to getting into the car, and then sort of what you remember after that.
It was just a celebration with friends, getting together. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary getting in the car. I take Lyft rides all the time, so I don't recall anything being abnormal at all.
So did you just normally, like you normally do, call up the car, see the person, get in? Just
Hi, how
like
are you?
everybody else does, right?
Hi, how are you? Hello. And that's...
But when you first got in, do you remember first getting into the car having any sense of uneasiness or anything, or was it just normal?
Seemed like it was going to be a normal Lyft ride.
Do you remember much of, what was the ride itself like? Was there any dialogue with the driver? Or?
The hey, how are you? And then at some point it escalated to expletives that you don't say.
Okay, so we can't say on TV.
No, we can't say that on TV.
Now, did you sense that there was like a build up to it, or was it just kind of like he turned a corner, or
like just a switch,
Really,
yeah,
really. Could you tell, like, could you sense that was happening and did back off and it was too late? Or I guess I'm just trying to kind of put myself in your situation, you know, because I've done this many times. You get in the car, you have the pleasantries, you might have a dialogue about the radio, whatever, and then you kind of are quiet.
Right.
And it's never really had that turn, but did you feel unsettled at all? Or
not, I mean, it came out of the blue. Out of the blue.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you, even just visually, you got no like, oh, this person looks a little sketchy, nothing.
No.
Wow. So do you remember much about what was happening during the actual assault portion, or was it closer to getting home, or like maybe halfway through the ride? How did it?
I was dropped off.
Okay.
But I lost consciousness pretty much immediately.
So
when
it happened
started.
once you got to your place,
Yeah.
and then so you don't remember actually a lot of the physical part?
I remember getting out of the car and then walking around the car. And then I didn't stand a chance. Everything went black.
So they must have clearly like put the car in park, got out.
I remember seeing the car with the lights on, and then
really
the impact, and pulverizing everything.
Well, and we've got some pictures I'm going to want to show here in a minute, because I mean, looking at you now, when people see these photos, they're not going to recognize you, and I just want to make sure we get a chance to show those. Has there been any sort of outcome with the driver? Have you heard of anything from Lyft? Or?
Initially, Lyft reached out 3 times to me, assuring that he had been suspended and they wanted to offer their support. I'm a little disheartened because all this time I've not heard anything from them since.
So since that initial contact, they've not followed up to check on you or ask about anything?
They
wow.
have not.
Well, so that makes me think then, so tell us a little bit about your surgeries and maybe any expenses that you might have incurred. And I think we've got, is it okay to show the pictures now?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
we're going to cue those up and rotate through some of the shots. And again, they're a little graphic here. So that's, just set the scene for us.
Yeah, that was the initial night. I believe that was the first surgery. Yeah, more of the first surgery.
And that's some scarring there from, it was reconstructive surgery, right?
Yes,
on your face?
Yes.
Yeah, look how swollen you are there.
They had to rebuild the whole left side.
Really?
Completely.
Well, kudos to whoever did it, because you look great. But man, was there a lot of pain involved? I mean, it's kind of an obvious question,
but
yes.
Yeah, my mouth was wired shut for 10 weeks.
For 10 weeks?
10 weeks.
So like eating through a straw?
Soup. Because he did knock out front teeth, so I had a little bit for a straw to
there's some before and after too. That's kind of, and how soon before the incident was that picture on the left there taken?
That was just a few months before.
Just a few months before. Wow, sorry, that was a picture of Bianca Paige. That's our next segment. Didn't mean to throw that in there. So with all of that, I mean, obviously you probably kind of racked up some expenses, right, with this, right? I mean, is that part of what you're trying to settle with Lyft for? Or?
Just right now, we're over $500,000
really
and growing in expenses.
Well, and again, if there's any part of this you don't want to answer, you let me know. But I mean, are you having to go back for more treatments? I mean, you look great, but I mean, is there still a healing process?
Yeah, there's still parts of my face that don't cooperate because it was completely paralyzed. So there's still parts of my face that don't cooperate. The nerves haven't woken up yet.
Yeah.
They told me initially 50-50 chance if it's going to come back.
Really?
So.
Well, again, it seems okay here now. I can tell is this left side of your face is a little bit less responsive. Is that how you feel?
Yes.
Yes. Has it affected you in any? I mean, well, obviously it's affected you in other ways, but how has it affected you in other facets of your life? I mean, has it been rough going back to work?
Very rough going back to work. I wasn't able to do anything for 3 months. So going back to work, it was just like, can I do this? Can I do this?
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you can share with us? I know it's an ongoing case, but is there anything you know or can update our viewers on what's going down?
I've heard nothing from, I don't know where they're at with the DNA, with the case. All I know is it's ongoing investigation.
Do you remember what the person looks like? And I mean,
I do.
You do? So,
I do.
So you do have the recollection of, you could pick them out of a lineup if you had to?
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. Are you suffering from any sort of like PTSD symptoms? I mean, are you apprehensive about getting in a car?
Yeah. Or? Flashing lights, bad. Anybody near my face, I kind of freak out a little. Anybody touching the scars, I can't handle that. Anybody coming up behind me, to kind of spook me or say hello, I will freak out.
Yeah, I could totally imagine that being the case, because I mean, you're just sort of on alert. I mean, even when you have a regular sort of car wreck, you're
just
on
going
alert.
to Kroger at nighttime, I'm looking over my shoulder all the time.
So not only were you obviously physically hurt, I mean, now you've got this mental anguish you're dealing with too, right? I mean,
and that's forever.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, literally
forever.
forever. Can you know, we've got about a minute left, and I want to make sure you have an opportunity to kind of provide some thoughts to people. So again, as we open the segment, we've all used, or most all of us have used these rideshare apps and don't think twice about getting in the car. Is there anything you want to tell the people or remind folks? Or
be cautious. If you feel something is going in a certain direction, such as this, call 911 straight up in the car.
Really?
Immediately.
Really?
Immediately call 911. I wish that I had done that. Yeah, I wish I had done that. A lot of people think it'll never happen to me. I thought the same thing. It happened, and it's ruined my life.
Yeah, I mean, completely changed your entire way of being.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you have my sympathy, and I'd love to have you back when we know a little bit more about the case, if that's okay, because I'd love for people to hear more. It's really a big deal, and I'm glad you're okay, or getting okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
Working on it, absolutely.
Appreciate it very much. And I'll be right back after this short break with a look at the 8th annual Bianca Paige Day celebration. You stay with us.
This is a Storm 5 HD weather update. Sign up for Weather Call at NewsChannel5.com.
Murky skies across the mid-state today with more scattered showers and storms. Thankfully, we're finally entering somewhat of a quieter period as we head into the overnight hours tonight. Most showers and storms should be gone by midnight, and then we'll start to dry out as we head into the overnight hours. Because the ground is so very wet, patchy fog, a good bet as we head towards the morning hours, so that's going to make it feel pretty steamy too. Here's a look at temperatures across the southeast and of course current conditions right here in Nashville. Tonight will bottom out right around 70 degrees for most folks. Again, patchy fog, a good bet as you start your Saturday. Thankfully, much drier conditions as we head into the weekend. Just about a 20% chance to see an isolated shower or storm both Saturday and Sunday. If rain does pop up for your weekend plans, it won't last long. We are expecting pretty clear conditions overnight Sunday into Monday too. I mentioned that because the Perseid meteor shower is peaking. So if you are out late Sunday night into Monday morning.
You know what slow's good for? Pot roast. Not so much for web browsing, streaming, or posting. To get the most out of the internet, you need crazy fast speed. Introducing Viasat Fast for All Home Internet. It's up to 10 times faster than DSL. And with up to 50 meg connection speeds, unlimited data, and reliable Wi-Fi, binge watching, downloading, browsing, and working anywhere on any device has never been faster. Call Viasat today at 1-888-854-7573 and we'll guarantee your price for 2 full years. Faster internet is here for your home or your business. And if you call now, our plans start as low as $50 per month. Plus, you get free standard installation that's fast and easy. Go to getviasat.com or call 1-888-854-7573 to sign up today or visit your local Viasat retailer. Viasat, Fast for All is here.
Welcome back. Mark Middleton, better known by his alter drag ego, the pantomime rage Miss Bianca Paige, was a true Nashville legend. As friends and community began to suffer and die from a fast-rising epidemic in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Bianca, over the course of her career, assisted in raising more than $1 million for HIV/AIDS research here in Nashville. When Mark passed, the city felt a great loss and held a memorial. Then Mayor Carl Dean proclaimed the day of the memorial as Bianca Paige Day in honor of Bianca and Mark's service to the community. This holiday has not been forgotten and grows larger every year. Here with me tonight to share more about the 8th annual Bianca Paige Day is board member Ron Sanford. Welcome.
Hey,
Ron.
how are you doing?
I'm well. That was a lot to say, but I felt like Mark deserved it.
Well, hey, since you mentioned Carl Dean, I would just like to know right now, Mayor David Brawley is going to redo that proclamation for us this year.
Oh, good
along with the council. So,
good deal.
Awesome. Yes.
That is awesome. I mean, that's very, very awesome to hear. I'm really glad to hear that. Now, before we jump into the event details,
sure.
I want to hear a little bit about why are you getting to sit here today and talk about Bianca, and how did you know her?
Well, I knew Bianca for over 20 years.
Yeah.
15 of which we were roommates and what I call entertainment partners. We were really good at what we did, but when we came together, we were freaking awesome.
Yep.
And we did have relations in the same room, but never with each other. So.
That sounds like Mark. I'm so glad to hear that. So now, for anyone watching tonight that didn't have the pleasure, the luxury, what have you, of getting to see her perform, how would you describe Bianca, And we've got some pictures we're going to rotate through, and you know, as you answer this, and you can talk about those too if you want. But
well,
how would you describe her to someone who never saw her?
We used to always say that she's the entertainer's entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she was one. Oh, we got.
And there's, speaking of her start.
That's Prince. That's how he got his start doing Prince. That was one of the Pride celebrations. I think it was 2001.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That was in Centennial Park.
That was in Centennial Park when she was hosting Pride. That was at Outrageous, and that's
I recognize
me.
that guy in the lower left, right?
That was a pink number.
Yep, yep. I remember that wig.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like ponytails.
Yep.
That was at Pride 2000 at Centennial Park. That's when she got the...
Yeah, she won our Gay Favorites Awards for Out and About Nashville. I believe that was like 2004. That was me trying to get her picture, you know, and her I think she wasn't ready at the moment in time.
Right. Oh, wow. That's one of her crown pictures. And that's also one of the great pictures. A lot of people didn't realize that Bianca was blind in one eye.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she never really... I mean, she could pull it off unless she had gone like 6 days in makeup, and then her eye would go a little crazy, and that's when she'd wear a patch.
Wear her patch. Now, we got deep into the pictures, but again, you know, those don't really convey a performance.
No.
And I wish I had enough time to show it, but, you know, she went by the pantomime rage, which I always loved that tagline. But how would you describe her performance, really? What was she? How did she differ from other drag queens?
She never missed a word.
That's true.
And there was, I mean, and basically every beat of the music, she had something to go down with.
Yes.
It was just amazing.
It was always well pantomimed and well executed.
Exactly.
Every single time.
Exactly.
Now, how did the first Bianca Paige Day begin, and sort of how did it come to fruition?
Well, it all came from the Bianca Paige Awareness Network, which we started about a couple of years before Bianca died. And then that organization put on the memorial.
Okay.
And then the following year we tried to do a really big honorary thing with everybody down at TPAC. We got the whole community involved. It was called Mysticos, and it just kind of didn't work. I think we were a little bit above our time, and now you know, RuPaul drag queens will fill the place up.
They do,
right? You know, so I think we were just a little bit out of our time.
Yeah.
But it was very frustrating for us, and so we just kind of relaxed back into being an organization, and we just started having a little party, basically,
really, a
celebration. Over at Trax, a celebration, just to keep her name going.
Yeah.
At Trax, and we would throw a big drag show, and we still raise money. I mean, we've been raising money in her name ever since she's gone.
Yeah.
And that's what Mark wanted us to do.
Well, yeah, continue raising money for the support.
Exactly.
And now, this year's event is at Trax again, August 25th.
Yes.
Who are any of the speakers, entertainers you can give us a preview about? Or?
Well, we've got, I mean, like Nicole Ellington-Dupre, and a lot of the Playgirls are coming.
Okay.
Trinity Moreau, Miss Pride, Vivica, and the Pecker Girls are coming.
Yep.
Kevin Ambergerke Walton, also known as Dakota St. James.
Dakota.
She's our new entertainment director, along with Byron Rice, who handles all of our live music and live stage acts as far as bands and things like that. We have a lot of national local bands showing up. We have 3 stages that day.
Well, I was going to say, like, tell us a little bit about the layout, because I know some of it's outside, some of it's inside.
Right, and let me say real quick that the growth of this would have never happened without Matthew. Matthew Potts, who's no longer with